you're standing, you have to, again, think, okay, lift, lengthen. You're here, you have to think, okay, you know, you've got to stabilize, create a nice strong base. You have to have nice solid, you have to have strength in the lower body to hold yourself up strong for. And you can do anything on this. I mean, hammer curls, overhead press, whatever. But this just, I'm just kind of explaining or showing you, demonstrating how you can increase a challenge. We could just start with something as simple as a hammer curl for the bicep. With free weights, again, as I mentioned before, before I even start, I want to think about drawing my shoulders down and back, drawing up and in, and again, slow and controlled, so I'm not, so it's, again, I see, this is when I see a lot of this. So what's happening here is you're flexing at the shoulder, so your shoulder is moving, you're moving through the shoulder, you're using momentum, so honestly, there's not very much work, or you're cutting the work in the bicep muscle in half, because you're recruiting the shoulder joint, you're not isolating the bicep. If you're here, you're standing, you've got your lengthened, you're drawing up and in, and you're slowly bringing the top of the weight to the head of the shoulder. You're keeping the shoulder joint completely stable, and the only thing really that's happening here is that I'm flexing at the elbow and I'm extending. So I'm not using the shoulder, it's stable, I'm using my biceps. And I'm just, the only joint that's actually changing the angle is the elbow joint. I'm extending and flexing. Same thing with triceps. I can use, let's see. So this is another prop that I often use to increase the challenge of an exercise. And I can do a tricep exercise for the back of the arm and increase the challenge a little bit by coming back here. So I'm resting comfortably. So again, as Chris mentioned, I'm looking for complete neutrality in the cervical spine. So here, my head's resting. You can see there's no stress. So I'm not here, I'm not straining my neck to hold my head up. It's gently resting. My shoulders are perfectly comfortable, no strain. And I've got my free weights. And I'm basically here in a flex position, and again, I'm standing at the elbow, flexing. I'm not whipping my, I'm not using momentum, I'm not flexing and extending, I'm not using the shoulders, I'm using the tricep muscle.
So the only thing moving there is from the elbow to the wrist.
Exactly,
yeah.
Yep. Can you see, obviously the angle is changing. I'm going from 90-degree angle at that elbow to a full 180. And this, again, being in this position, it forces me to use a little bit more. I'm actually challenging my glutes here because of the position I'm in, I have to activate the glutes to hold myself here. I'm actually activating also the quadriceps, I'm activating the hamstrings. So they're not working for range of motion, however, they're isometrically, they're holding a contraction in this position. So I'm actually getting a lot more out of the exercise than I would if I were just standing. So if I were standing and just doing a tricep overhead, it's fine, but I'm not working as many muscles. So that's just kind of to show you how you can progress using some of these props. Even something as simple as this, if I were back here on the mat, and I wanted to work my back, and I just wanted to, you'd be shocked and amazed how hard this is. So if I'm here, and I go through something called the breaststroke, and I extend the arms, and I come back, okay? So again, you can see how I'm really trying to be conscious of length, neutral, neck. I'm extending, coming back. This small movement with these 3-pound balls, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. So how about if I have, we're going to do a little bit of this with all of you. So why don't I just have 1, 2, 3, the first 5 people come up, and we'll just kind of run through a few of these exercises. I mean,
yeah, like what if some of them maybe they don't feel ready?